All right, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, HaRakakodash. Double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule great millstone well. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom, wa abababal. So this report of lights in the sky, which they're saying are drones. All right, this shows you that the Christian is a antichrist. All right, they don't know what's in the scriptures because the scriptures tells us everything, even the lights in the skies. All right, which if you ever hear the reports of these people that witness these lights, they say they're not drones because they're changing shape, changing colors. They do moves that drones or even planes or helicopters cannot do. All right. But it shows you that these Christians are antichrists. They don't know the way Yahushua is returning, and that's why this is a mystery to them. This is Jeremiah 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Today the Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which been scattered throughout the world in slavery. All right. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them. So the heathen are dismayed at them. But if you're a believer in the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, which is the Holy Scriptures, you shouldn't be dismayed at it. You should know exactly what it is, which the hopeful elect do. All right, we're not questioning if it's a drone. We know exactly what it is. It says in Luke 21 and 26, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken, which they're afraid right now. They're very, very afraid right now. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in a cloud. The cloud is a so-called UFO, a chariot of heaven, with power and great glory. And that's why they radiate light. And when these things begin to come to pass, which they have, then look up and lift up your and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So this is our redemption. But see, these stupid-ass Christians, which are antichrists, right? For the most part, they don't even read the Bible, all right? But the Bible is for the Israelite, which is enslaved today under the so-called white race, the red devil the Bible speaks of, all right? And Yahushua, which is a so-called black man, the Messiah that is spoken of in the Holy Scriptures, is returning with the armies of heaven, and he's going to fight for us. Revelation 19 and 11, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. The white horse represents the glory that he comes with, and that's why they radiate light, the power of Yahweh. And Yahushua is coming in that same fashion. And he that sat upon him, which is Yahushua, was called faithful and true, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. So those lights you see in the heavens, they're coming to make war. That's why there's going to be a war in heaven. It says his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, which he's coming to fight against these men and their armies. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself, which is the splendor of his reputation that he comes with. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, which we've been telling you, when he gets here, he's going to slaughter many. All right, many are going to be slaughtered by Yahushua. And his name is called the Word of Yahweh, which the Bible speaks of Yahushua. And the armies which were in heaven followed him, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, which is that glory. That's why they radiate light. Clothed in fine linen, white and clean, which there's angels that come with those vehicles, and they're so-called black beings. They look like American Negroes, all right, but very powerful, angelic. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, which is the laser beam that comes out of the chariot, the so-called UFO, that with it he should smite the nations, because they have us in slavery, the Israelites. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress, which is America, which is spiritually Basra, of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Yahweh. So Yahweh told you he was going to send his son Yahushua in his word, which we have the Holy Scriptures. And he had on his vesture and on his thigh a name written. So in his garment he's going to have this written: King of Kings and Lord of Lords. See? So that's what he's coming. He's coming to make war with these men on earth that think they're gods, right? And are not gods. Just like he said about the Egyptian. Isaiah, and this is prophesying about America. But Pharaoh in the past thought he was a god too. And these Edomites, these so-called Caucasians, they think that they're gods too, right? It says in Isaiah 31:1, woe unto them, so destruction unto them that go down to Egypt for help. So if you cleave unto this so-called white man and his religion, his system, which he's going to eventually make you have to take an implantable microchip to buy and sell, all right? It says to stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. Yahweh is the Heavenly Father, and he gave us his word to Israel. The Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which have been scattered throughout the world in slavery. And Yahweh's word tells us of his son, Yahushua. It says, yet he also is wise and will bring evil, and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. So these reprobate Israelites, he's going to destroy them in America with the heathen because they're unfaithful. It says in verse 3, now the Egyptians are men and not God. So this is talking about you so-called Caucasians today. You are men and not God. And the Lord's going to show you that. He's going to fuck you up. He says, and their horses flesh and not spirit. That's why they can't make the maneuvers the chariots do. You know, they tell you the chariots will disappear, reappear. They'll take off from a complete stop to, unlimited speed. They'll do maneuvers. They'll shoot things at it and won't nothing happen to it because the chariots are spirit. But now Esau's technology, they turn too sharp. Their pilot might explode. The wings might break off, right? It says, when Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. Which all these reprobates are going to die with the heathen in Babylon by fire. It says in verse 4, for thus hath Yahweh spoken unto me, like as the lion and the young lion roaring on his prey, when a multitude of shepherds is called forth against him, he will not be afraid of their voice, nor abase himself for the noise of them. So shall Yahweh of hosts, the reason it says hosts, he's controlling the armies of men, he's controlling the armies of the chariots through Yahushua, and he's also controlling the nuclear missiles, come down to fight for Mount Zion. It says, so shall Yahweh of hosts come down to fight for Mount Zion and for the hill thereof. As birds flying, that's how those chariots fly, like birds that fly in formation, so will Yahweh of hosts defend Jerusalem. And that's why you're seeing them, because this so-called white race, the wicked, The red devils the Bible speaks of, their elite is thinking about trying to destroy us. And I'm talking about the ones that are prophesying. It says, defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. See? Turn ye unto him from whom the sons of Israel have deeply revolted. See? That's why we're in slavery. But now he's bringing us to a point where we're going to be delivered from our slavery. It says in Jeremiah 30, verse 5, for thus saith Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. And why? Because these heathen don't know nothing. And these so-called Christians don't know nothing. All right? So that's why they're afraid. They don't know nothing. And not of peace. Ask ye now, but you could ask the Israelites. We'll tell you what it is. It's chariots, and it's coming for his people. And he's going to fight against the heathen, which intend to fight against him. It says, ask ye now, and see whether a man do travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Which you're going to eventually see these guys crying like Rambo on First Blood. All right, they're going to be terrified when they see these chariots even closer. It says, Allah's, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. So we know Jacob's trouble is right upon us. But he shall be saved out of it. The chariots are here to save us out of it. Matthew 24, verse 29. This is red letters, so Yahweh Shai is saying it, the Messiah. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, because it's going to be a nuclear destruction of America. And the stars shall fall from heaven. Those are the nuclear missiles. And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And that's why the elite, these rich, they got bunkers. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. In heaven. On what? A so-called UFO, a chariot. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven, in the chariots, with power and glory. They're going to be radiating light. And he shall send his angels, which is not just going to be him, it's going to be many. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So you should know what this is. You claim to be a Christian. You claim to know the Bible. You claim all this, faith and all this, but you don't know what these are. So the Lord's going to punish you. All right, it tells you that all liars are going to have their place in the lake of fire. Revelation 21:8. But the fearful, which they don't know, and unbelieving don't know, and the abominable don't know, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars, which all these so-called Christian, which I'm talking about the Israelite Christian, right? Because salvation is only for the Israelite. So fuck the heathen, they ain't got no salvation anyway. But the Israelite that claims to be a Christian, oh, I'm saved, you're a fucking liar. And all liars shall have their part in the lake, which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death, which is America's destruction, via nuclear missile at the return of Yahweh Shai. All right? And these chariots coming is a sign of Yahweh Shai's coming. 2nd Ezra 13. 2nd Ezra 13, verse 1. This is Ezra having a vision in Babylon. And it came to pass after 7 days, which he prepared himself to have this vision, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof, which is talking about the heavens. That's why they're blue. It's water up there. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong. So that's what you're seeing. More, and it ain't going to slow down. They're going to come more and more and more. So they literally block out the sky. It says wax strong. Waxing strong means to grow in brightness with the thousands of heaven. See? So there's going to be so many. It's going to block out the sun. And when he turned his countenance to look, Yahushai, all things trembled that were seen under him, which they were terrified. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire, which they're going to be dissolved. All right, they're going to be melted. He's going to melt the wicked and them that do wickedly. That's why there's a day, it says in Malachi 4, verse 1, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. See? So the Lord's going to deliver us in those chariots, in those wings. It says, and ye shall tread down the wicked, which they're going to be under our feet, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. In the day that I shall do this, saith Yahweh of hosts, remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. So we got to eat that whole roll and go out and teach. Behold, I will send you Elijah, which is Abba, Bivens, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yahweh. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers, which included King Masha, to the sons, which that's why you have great millstone today, and the heart of the sons to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with the curse. And that's why the camps exist. And the hopeful elect, right? We're out here teaching, trying to gather our people so that they could be saved. All right? So that you could repent and be saved. That's what the whole Lord, that's the plan of the Lord. It says in verse 16 of Malachi 3, then they that feared Yahweh spake often one to another, and Yahweh hearkened, because we're in his word, and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared Yahweh, and that thought upon his name. And that's another thing. These Christians ain't got his name. They're calling on Jesus, which is a false name. Right? The Christian today is a antichrist. And they shall be mine, saith Yahweh of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them, as a son spareth his own son that serveth him. When a man spareth his own son that serveth him, then shall ye return. And that's why you got to remember the law of Moses, because to serve Yahweh, there's certain things that you actually got to carry out. You have faith first, but then you got to conduct yourself, having holy conversation, a certain lifestyle. And it's written in the Holy Scriptures. It says, then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth power and him that serveth not. So that's evidence in their word and in their conduct. By their fruit you shall know them. It's a lot in Matthew. It says, verse 20, wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. So what they're saying, what they're doing, you should know who the elect are. Which, once again, These Christians are antichrist today because they don't know shit that's in the Bible. They don't know nothing. All right?